Hey, today I have decided to make a quick tutorial on how I paint eyes. And I have a very simple cartoony art style. I'll be using Krita, but for the most part it doesn't matter. However, I'm using clipping masks here, and in other programs such as Photoshop or Procreate, they usually look a bit different in Layers panel, but they work the same way anyway. So here I have a sketch on a separate layer. I have a background layer, and now, because I'm using Krita, I have a separate layer for a base color, and it's in a group. And all the layers on top of this layer are mostly clipping masks. They have this alpha sign. So in this group it's base color shape, and clipping masks are hair, skin tint. So we start painting eyes here in this group. On a new layer with a pencil brush, I start drawing eyelashes. I usually use black or blackish color for eyelashes. And now I will make a new layer, place it under the lashes layer, and this will be whites of the eye. And important thing here, in your final piece, these whites shouldn't be pure white color, so you would have some room for your reflection. So the color here depends on your pipeline, on how you're going to do shading. For example, if you're going to apply a solid color as a base for shading, like this light blue color on multiply layer, what it does, it tints the whole picture. So if you're going to do that, in this case, you can just use pure white here, because it's not going to be a pure white color when you finish painting this. And later you can paint your reflections on the layer above this layer. But if you're not doing this, I'm going to just delete this layer. In this case, we're going to pick the light color, but not pure white. I'm using a opaque brush here in the middle, but closer to the edges I'm switching brush and painting it with a softer brush with opacity change, and in this case it's pencil brush. Then I pick this layer and press Ctrl G to put it in the separate group, so I could make clipping masks just for this layer alone. On the next layer I take basic one brush, it's opaque round brush, and I pick a color, usually in the darker range, because I'm going to lighten this iris a little bit in the next stages, and I just stamp it, and I'm trying to go outside this white area. And sure, it shouldn't be exactly this circle, because there is a distortion and it should be an ellipse. But if it looks okay, it doesn't really matter that much, but if you want to fix it, just take a lasso tool and press Ctrl T, and you can transform your circle and make it an ellipse. Then press clipping mask, and that's it. On the next layer, same brush, blackish color for the pupil. You can also transform it if you want. Now I make a layer, use overlay mode, pick a lighter color, and I will rotate the hue on the color wheel. With the soft brush I will paint the iris in the center a tiny bit lighter. Next we can make a shading layer. Multiply, clipping mask, and paint a shadow using a pencil brush, because it doesn't have a very hard edge. And by the way, in this scenario I'm assuming the main light source is coming from the top. Also, I would add some occlusion shadows with the soft brush, on the same layer. And now reflection. For this, most of the time I use hard light layer mode, but you can also use either soft light if you want less dramatic effect, or color dodge or addition even if you want more shiny effect. But personally I prefer using hard light for the reflection. I usually use either pencil or a soft brush here, and depending on what I need, I usually use either yellowish color for the sun reflection or more bluish color for the skylight. You can also play with this color. You can press Ctrl U and in this window move hue slider. You can also play with the opacity of this layer as well. So the next layer will be highlights. Most of the time I just use white and put tiny dots. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.